Great. Let's begin with the proceedings. It's 3 p.m. So, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, a warm welcome to all the doctors present over here in today's lecture. Thank you for using your precious time and giving it to us. We'll make sure that this time will be the best of your time and will be helping you with lot many things and lot many challenges that we face continuously at the dental practice. So let's begin with today's proceedings. And before we begin, we would like to tell you that the entire lecture for today will be lasting for 90 minutes. So please make sure that you focus completely on this particular place and ask me as many questions as possible, because when you ask me questions, we'll be covering up to answers to those questions as well. And that is how I'll be going beyond the presentation that I have made. I'll be helping you with your answers. So ask me as many questions as possible. Please feel free to take screenshots and notes whenever and wherever you want, because that's the only thing that's going to stay with you after we end today's presentation. And also make sure that once you complete today's lecture, go ahead and implement all those things into your dental practice and in your personal life. Only then you're going to get success. I can speak for hours together. However, my speaking is not going to get success to you. When you start implementing all those things that we speak of in today's lecture, that's when you will be able to get success, and that's how you will be able to move ahead in your dental practice. So let's understand who we are, who the team at Dental Uplivity Academy is, and why are we over here helping our fellow colleagues to become more successful. So I'll start with the introduction. So I am Dr. Jashan Arora. I passed out from Nair Hospital and Dental College in the year 2010. After I passed out, I opened my dental practice, and I saw a big failure because there were not many patients coming to this practice, and I didn't understand how to attract more patients, how to get money from patients, how to charge them what we want to charge them, and how to generate more profits for the dental practice. And I was a failure, so I had to shut this dental practice down, and I started working at some other clinic again and saving money so that I could reopen my own clinic in the near future. We didn't come from a very rich family. We were from a middle class family. We didn't have lots of money. And my father used to shout on me saying कि पहला क्लिनिक फेल गया, अभी हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है कि हम लोग वापस सारी चीजें फेल करें. So please make sure that you have a foolproof plan before you start and open your practice again. And that is why and that is why I started attending multiple
attending many lectures, doing many things before we try to understand how to make a dental practice run smoothly and how to continue growing ahead in this competition. Currently, I'm having more than 10 plus years of experience in my field, having more than 12,000 satisfied clients, and working continuously for both international as well as national patients. And have been assisted by a specialized team at the dental practice. We have a team of 3 assistants and 1 associate doctor, and all of us together work towards making our dental practice more successful. And we love to do dentistry and dental treatments for our patients. And at the academy, I've been assisted by Rahul Sripura, who is the co-founder of Dental Uplivity Academy. He's an engineer by education, an entrepreneur by passion. Again, working for more than 10 years in his field. He's working for more than 350 plus brands, currently working with more than 80 plus healthcare projects for whom he's helping make their digital platform stronger and helping them get more patients. So let's continue with these 10 skills and help you understand what is it that was the secret to success at my dental practice, and how can you implement all these things and become successful at the dental practice. So let's continue with the tip number 1. So the first tip that I used and the first skill that I used to become successful at the dental practice is called as leadership skills. And when I speak of leadership, I'm sure people are inspired by multiple leaders. Not necessarily they are dentists, however, we get inspired from people. And I want you all people to start using the chat box and start typing in, are you all inspired by someone in your life? Or are you inspired by someone using the power of internet? I get inspired looking at Robin Sharma. I get inspired looking at Gaur Gopal Das. So is there someone whom you get inspired from? There might be many leaders in our family. I would want you to please start using the chat box and let us know who get inspired from you. And in the meantime, I'll start explaining why does leadership skill implemented in the dental practice help us to become successful, and how can you use it to get more success? So as I see the questions which are present, how to respond to patients who just come to know about the charges. My query is how to manage a patient who is over Googled his symptoms, and such patients try to outshine, and it becomes very difficult at times to convince them without being rude. These questions answers are related to leadership skills. We need leadership skills, and we should understand what are good leadership skills in order to answer to such people and such patients who come to the dental practice. And in the meantime, I see two names being present in the chat box, Elon Musk and Steve Jobs. Yes, they are fantastic leaders. We get inspired from them. So what would these people do if it would be in their foot, if it would be they are in their shoes? How would these people behave if they would be a dentist and there would be a person or a patient who just came to the dental practice to know the charges? So we would use great leadership skills, respect them, stay humble, at the same time answer the question, also give the answer in such a way that they would want to come inside the dental practice and at least have a consultation done, because that's the basic requirement that we want. We don't want patient we don't want people to be answered about the charges right in the waiting room or over the call, because once you give charges they decide just by hearing to the charges and they don't want the consultation as well, and that's how we lose a potential patient. If a patient is Googled and we become rude to them, again, there's a very high chance of losing a particular patient. And that is the reason why we need to use leadership qualities. We need to become great leaders and we need to answer them how to be we need to answer them in such a way that we are humbled, we show great leadership skills, at the same time they are answered. So if a patient comes to me and asks about the charges, either in the waiting room or over the phone, I would give them a range of charges. Say if they ask me for the treatment of a root canal and your root canal charges say would be 6,000, I'm just taking any number that comes to my mind. So say if the root canal charges at your dental practice are 6,000, you can tell them, see, root canal charges could go between 8,500 to as low as 5,000. Don't say 5,000 to 8,500. Start from the higher first and then go to the bottom. So my root canal charges or the root canal charges at the dental practice would go from 8,500 to as low as 6,000. And if you want to know what would be the exact charges in your case, you will require to get a consultation done, because once we get the consultation done, we understand what is the current scenario of the tooth in your mouth, and then we can give you an exact charge. And when you answer them in this particular way, you are not being rude. You are answering to their question, at the same time giving them a chance that please come in, sit at the chair, and get a checkup done before giving you an exact charge. If we become rude, the patient walks out right from there, which is poor leadership skills. If we don't tell them the charges, we tell them just get a consultation done. After the consultation, we'll tell you the charges. Again, this looks rude. So please be very humble when people tell you, be very polite when people ask you these questions. Give them a range. At the same time, remember that the range should start from a higher point to a lower point. Don't from lower to higher, start from higher to lower. So root canal, say for example, as I said, if 6,000 are your charges, say it will vary from 8,500 to as low as 5,000. Once we get the checkup done, we can help you with the exact cost. So in this way, what are they doing? They are trying to understand what type of a person are we. If we are rude, they would not want to get treatments done from us.
Leave the
Are gentle, if we are polite, if we respect them, they will want to give us a chance of consultation and walk in before they get the treatments done. And the reason why it's from higher to lower, not from lower to higher, because of two reasons. First thing is when you start from higher, the first number is being remembered. So when you say from 8,500 to as low as 6,000, the first number is being stored in the mind. If you start from 5,000 and they say goes up to 8,500, 5,000 is stored. And when they walk into the dental practice and then you say it's 6,000, they'll say, आपने तो बताया था कि 5,000 है. And that's when I chose for a consultation. Now you're saying it's 6,000. The second thing is why higher to lower is you can tell them it goes to 8,500 and as low as 5,000. So you are coming from a higher point to lower point and you are using your hands to convey this message to them. And that's why they understand, oh, 5,000 may be ho sakta hai, 8,500 may be ho sakta hai. It's a range that they have given to you. Let's walk in, have a check, and get the treatment done. So those patients who want to just know the charges, let them know the charges. However, give them a range of charge. Don't just give them a point charge, say 5,000 rupees, and then you don't have anything, or they can just walk out here into the charges, and that's what we don't want. So give them a range of charges. Dr. Tarundeep is asking me, should we ourselves tell the charge or the front desk should convey them? So if they are asking in the waiting room and the front desk or the receptionist is present over there, let them convey the charges. If they are asking you over the phone and if the front desk has picked up the phone, let them convey the charges. If we have picked up the phone or if we are present in the waiting room and then there is no front desk on that particular time, we can let them know about the charges. So it's not who is telling the charges is what's important. It is how are we communicating it to them. Are we humble? Are we polite while speaking to them? Are we rude while speaking to them? If we are polite, people would definitely want to get a consultation done from us, and that's how we can win this particular patient. Again, leadership skills, patients don't follow appointments, how to regulate it. So you can explain to your patients that when you miss a particular appointment, it leads to wastage of your and my time. So if you want to cancel a particular appointment for some reason, please let us know beforehand that you want to change your appointment or you want to postpone your appointment or you want to cancel the appointment, and let us know at least an hour in advance so that we can adjust some other patient in this particular place. If you don't inform us that you want to change the appointment, that particular appointment could go waste, and that's how it will lead to wastage of our time. And that's the reason why we have kept it a rule at the dental practice to please inform us if you don't want to come at the appointments. And the second thing, please make it a point that you take advance for your appointments. If they are not paying advance, don't give them appointments. And that is how you come to know that those people are giving you appointment, who are giving advance to you, will definitely make sure that they come on that particular times. And that's how you can manage the appointments. Patients coming in for free checkup camps and just inquire about the consultation charges and then run away. What should be done at this time? So, Dr. Isha, I am not so happy with doing free checkup camps because I believe that free checkup camps doesn't help the dental practice to get those type of patients that we want. Free checkup camps help to get us patients who want discount on the treatments, who are ready to pay as low as possible. But you tell them higher charges, they'll be the first one to run away. And that's the reason why they have come to you in free checkup camps, because they want to save as much money as possible. So if you want to serve to those patients who are ready to pay lesser amount to your dentist, please continue with free checkup camps. However, if you are focused on getting those patients who want to give us more money, in free checkup camps, what you should do is, rather than just focusing on these people who are coming for free checkup camps, focus on the location where you're having a free checkup camp. For example, I have seen many a times these days checkup camps, free checkup camps being done at societies, being done at banks, being done at various organizations or institutes. So get checkup done in free. However, try to communicate or try to network with people of these banks, these organizations, these societies. They don't want to get a checkup done, but network with them, become friends with them, so that whenever in the near future these people require treatments, they would come. And I have been doing lots of camps. However, we never get what we want from these camp patients, and those people who are in the organizations, they'll end up coming to the dental practice. And this happens only when we communicate with them, only when we network with them, and only when we speak with them. So do free checkup camps and don't just focus on the patients which are coming over here for a free checkup. Also focus on the organizational committee and all those people whom you can get in touch with, and that's how you will be able to get more patients. uh, I have a question which says, in this COVID scenario, can we open a new clinic now? Is it worth? Okay, so Dr. Margi has asked me this question. In this scenario, what has happened is the business which was in a growth phase or which was in a stable phase has also declined to some extent. However, it will jump up as soon as the COVID cases fall. Now, are you ready to open a new practice, and are you ready to sit at this dental clinic and invest your time and money into rent, into all those overheads before your clinic starts running? If yes, go ahead and open it. COVID is not going to give any difference to it, because come what may, in the initial phase, the dental practices growth is very slow. We'll also speak of how to increase the growth, because that was the question of a few of the patients, a few of the dentists, and at the same time, that is one skill, one secret of the 10 secrets we are going to speak of. So don't just focus on walk-in patients. Try to use the power of internet as well. We'll be coming to that point, and how can we grow the patients in our new stage, at the same time in the stage where we are already established. And if you are thinking of opening a clinic in this COVID scenario, be a little cautious before you do that, because business is not at its peak as of now. It's a little lower than what it can be or what it could be. However, as soon as the peak of COVID falls, patients will rush into the dental practice because they are trying to avoid any treatment right now. As soon as the peak goes away, they'll come outside their homes and they'll come for getting the treatments done. So then you will start getting those patients. How to attract more and more patients, how to increase walk-in, Dr. Isha will be taking that point a few minutes later. So all those people who have asked me questions, and if I have answered to your questions rightly, please use the chat box. If you feel the question is answered correctly, please let us know if the answer was good and give a thank you, or let us know with a message, and we'll be continuing with uh, ahead of today's lecture. So yes, Gaur Gopal Das, I get inspired from him as well. Fantastic person. So how can anyone develop leadership skill? Isn't it something with since childhood? So no, leadership skills can definitely be developed. You can watch how leaders behave like. You can start behaving like that. You can read about leadership skills online, and the role of a leader is not to create other followers. The role of a leader is to create great leaders. Our parents are great leaders. We get inspired from them daily. We want to be like them. We want to walk like them. We want to do things like them. So leadership skills is when we see people and we get inspired from them. And if I speak about our parents right now, I would like to go ahead and speak one thing about parenthood. Parenthood is not about being the best parent and helping a child when you are there with them. Parenthood and parenting is also about training your children such that when you are not there, they know what is right and what is wrong, and they know how to behave, how not to behave. That's what parenting and that's what leadership skill is about. And we can, there, it's never late to learn about leadership skills. It's never late to learn about leadership skills. All right. So questions still coming in. I don't get any thank yous, or I don't get people who tell that yes, this point strikes a chord with me, and so I'll move ahead. So people who Google, people who are rude to us, be humble with them. Let them know that in our experience, we have seen that what you are saying doesn't hold true onto the research or onto the paper. However, according to the experience and how we see, this is what true. Google helps you with knowledge. Yes, definitely it does. However, the knowledge that you are having is not a complete knowledge, and therefore I am helping you to gain that full knowledge. So please focus on what I'm speaking right now and then help you with all those answers. Make it a point that you ask your question, ask your patients to ask you questions. After I complete with my consultation, the first thing that I do is I ask them, do you have any question? Do you have any doubts of what I have spoken? And if they have doubts, they speak to me and I politely answer to them. Because consultation is where you are going to make it or if you are not doing your consultations well, you are losing that particular patient right over there. So make sure that you politely, you humbly answer to everybody's question and answer to all those foolish questions that might be coming to you. And when you answer to them, the patient is all yours. He's not going to go anywhere else once you have answered to their questions and once they are happy with your answers. So make sure that you use great leadership skills. Don't just be rude to them. I was once rude to my patient. I was working in the operatory. We just had one assistant at that particular time. She was doing the suction, which she was helping me around, and the patient waited in the waiting room for 4 minutes, and we didn't realize that the patient is waiting. Then they opened the door and they entered the operatory, and I became rude and I shouted to them, please wait outside. Why did you enter inside without permission? And the patient didn't wait even for a second after I became rude. They walked off the dental practice, and that's when I understood that it was my mistake that I was rude. Always be polite to them, have great human qualities, be a great person, a human first. Dentistry is always going to follow, and that's what I tell everyone. Become humble, be a great human. Things are not going to be the same when we are rude. Things become very different when you start becoming humble. So be humble, be a great human, and life is all yours. My question is, which would be more ethical, whether the doctor accepting the payment hand to hand or allowing the receptionist? Please don't collect monies from your patients. Let the front desk, let the receptionist, let the assistant collect the money. Please make it a point that you never ever collect money from your patients. Please don't do that. How to market oneself in smaller towns where people are not so educated about Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, social media, users are less. So if you are present in a smaller town, please continue using Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp so that in the near future, when people start becoming more educated, you have already reached a stage when you can start getting patients from that particular place. However, until that stage in your town is being reached, go and meet people in associations, in organizations. There are many organizations available. Go and meet people, network with them, sit with them, understand how did they do their particular business, and then they will ask you about who you are and what type of business you do, and that's how you can get a potential customer in the future. There are many organizations available, Business of Commerce, Business Network International, many organizations available where they help each other grow. So be a part of such associations, join Lions Club, join the Rotary Club. All these places, people meet each other, they want to know each other. Just be present. Don't try to advertise yourself or market yourself. Just go over there with the with the reason of meeting people. Don't go over there to market yourself. Go over there to meet more people, network with them, spend time with them, understand what type of a person they are, and eventually you're going to definitely get business from them. So lots of thank yous coming in. It's a great thing. I am glad that the lecture is helping you. We'll be moving to the second skill over here, and let those questions coming in, and we'll be trying to connect these questions to all those skills that they are present. I hope, Dr. Ashish, I helped you with your answer. If I have still not answered to your question, do let me know, and we'll be thank you. So I get to thank you. I move to the next skill here. The next skill is team building. टीम बिल्डिंग मैं अकेले डेंटल क्लिनिक नहीं चला सकता. When I opened my dental practice, I didn't keep an assistant for at least the initial 2.5 to 3 years. I used to work alone. I used to wash the instruments, dry it, sterilize it, put it into pouches, do the suction, manage the payments, appointments. Everything was done by me alone because I didn't understand the importance of having a team at that particular time. And I was so wrong. My team is someone whom I can rely on, whom I can blindly rely on. I can close my eyes and I can delegate all those things to them, and I can just focus on doing the patients. And that's why team building is important. We are seeing cricket these days every day. There is IPL happening every day, so not just a bowler can win a match, not just a batsman can win a match. It's the entire team which puts in the effort, not just those 11 players who are playing. It's about the extra people who are substitutes, who are present in the place they are not playing. The person who is carrying the drinks, the physio, the trainer, the coach, everyone together works in order so that the 11 people present on the ground give their best performance and make the entire team win. It's not Virat Kohli who wins when Indian cricket team wins. It's the entire team wins. It's the country who is winning when Virat Kohli wins a match. And therefore, it's about team building. We need to build our team. We cannot just work alone. If we do that, we'll die doing that because there are lots of things, lot many aspects at the dental practice, and we cannot focus on all those things. And therefore, it is a must to focus on your team. It is a must. If you focus on your team and if you build a strong team, you will be a lot more happy because many things will be done by your team and you will not have to focus on all those things because you have a team whom you can rely on, whom you can delegate the work, and you can just focus on doing the dental treatments. I get inspired from my team every day. They are not the only ones who get inspired from me. I get inspired from them. They work tirelessly. The dental practice, we work from 10 in the morning to 8 in the evening with a break in between for lunch and some relaxation time. However, before the break, after the break, everyone is working tirelessly, putting the sweat into the dental practice. And I salute my team for helping me achieve my goals. And that's the reason why you should sit with your team, understand what are their personal goals in their lives. Also, let them understand what are your goals from the dental clinic and try to get your team on board and help you to achieve those goals. If you want to achieve goals on your own, if you want to become successful doing it all alone, it's going to be very, very difficult. And therefore, build a team, work together, love your people, and work together a common goal. And it's going to be a lot more easier to achieve those goals rather than working alone. And I have something which comes over here in the chat box which says initially it is difficult to maintain a lot of staff. How can we create a team since start? What if we are handling the clinic single-handedly? So that's what I already mentioned. We'll speak about it again. I was so wrong when I used to handle the clinic alone. See, when the patients walk in, I can, it's a acronym or a synonym which I try to use. It's a synonym which I try to use. When a patient walks in, the patient is like a CCTV camera. He's similar to a CCTV camera which has just walked in the dental practice. And this camera is going to see and hear and record all those things which he or she sees and hears. They'll see our clothes, they'll see the hygiene of the dental practice, they'll see how we speak with them, they'll see if we are rude, they'll see if we are polite, they'll see if the clinic is neat and tidy, they'll see if there are things which are fallen over here and over there. They're going to see every damn thing. And if they're seeing everything, they're also noticing if you are working single handedly or you have someone who works with you. Keep just one staff in the beginning. I'm not asking you to keep many staff, however, just one staff. Because when you keep a staff at the dental practice, you have more time to do some other work. And therefore, when you have, see, if I can do one patient in a day single handedly, I might be able to do two patients single handedly with a staff. So if I can get more work done with a staff with me, I can definitely earn more money as well. And therefore, when I keep a staff, I can pay them at the same time, earn more money. And also, the quality of your work will also increase because you'll have to just focus on your treatments. Everything else will be taken care by the staff. And therefore, please, it's a request, keep a staff. When you keep a staff, your salaries will automatically increase or your income will automatically increase. And therefore, it's not from your pockets that you have to pay to your staff. Your staff, when they join the dental practice, they automatically bring more revenue to the dental field. And therefore, I would say, don't work single handedly. Please work in a team. Let's move to the third tip. I want more questions coming in, more. If the point is understood, if you feel it's good, please, it's a request. Use the chat box and be more connecting, more communicating with us so that we understand that yes, we are on the same page or not. Money management is a very important thing. And one question that already had come about money is, should we collect the money ourselves or should we ask our assistants to or receptionists to collect money? I have never collected money from my patients. My work is do dental treatments. The assistant are given the duties of collecting payments, of giving appointments, of suction, of sterilization, of multiple more things. It's not my job to collect payments. The money aspect, the financial aspect is to be taken care by the assistants. Because when it comes to the time of the payments, there are many patients who might tell you, मैं आज लाया नहीं, अगले appointment में देता हूँ, I don't have the money, sorry आज लाना भूल गया, and they have various excuses. Also, they bargain at the last minute after getting all the treatments done at the time of the payment, they'll say, अरे आप इतना ही रख लीजिए, 1,000 रुपया डिस्काउंट दे दीजिए चलेगा. And that's why understanding how to manage this money is important. And therefore, don't take your money, don't collect your money yourselves. Ask your assistants to collect the money. Also, when we are speaking about money management, I would also like to speak about one thing, that as dentists, we are not taught anything about financial aspects. Dental practice is finally a business, and business strives on money. It requires money. So you should not only understand how to generate more revenue, you should be also able to understand how to reduce your expenses in order to increase your profits. You should also be important to understand how to manage finances such that you can pay your income tax and optimize it. I have seen many dentists who don't pay or don't do filing of the income tax. It's so important to file your income tax, because whenever we require loans, our income tax filing has been assessed by the banks before they give in any money to us. And therefore, we should understand how to manage all these things. We don't have any retirement funds that our employers are going to give to us. We are our own employees. We are self employed people. We should be able to manage money so that we can save for a retirement, we can save for a child's education in the future, or for leisure, or for entertainment for ourselves, whatsoever it is. We should understand how to invest, use money to its optimum. And therefore, money management is a great and important tool for us to become successful. Uh, Dr. Ashish asks me a question over here. Should money be collected before or after the treatment for both old and new patients? If you can take before the treatments, nothing like it. Nothing like it. And the way to do it is, you have a policy in the dental practice that you collect money in advance before the treatment, and during your consultations you let your patients know about this policy. So during your consultation, you don't just speak about the treatment that is required, you don't just speak about the charges, you also tell them what is the payment protocol of the dental practice, or what are the rules of payment of the dental practice, and you let them know that we are going to take payments well in advance or before we start with the treatment, because this is a policy of the dental clinic, and make sure that you follow these policies even if it's a relative walking into the dental practice. Don't give any chances of error, because some patient might ask you, us patient ne to advance payment nahi kiya, why are you doing this to me? And then it feels like an insult to them. So if you want to take it before, make it a rule and take it before. Also communicate it to your patients that we are going to collect money beforehand, so that they don't feel insulted. Explain the rules and policies to them, communicate in a friendly tone. You are free to collect payments before. What we do is, after the first appointment, we try to collect at least 40% of the total amounts at the end of first appointment. And then in the end of second appointment, at least 30% is collected. So in the initial two appointments, 70% of the money is already collected, so that there are no patients who go away without getting your payments done. And that's how you can manage money effectively. Success is all about effectively using your time and your valuable resources well, because every one of us are given the same 24 hours in a day. However, what we do with those 24 hours helps us to become successful. A person who is a broke doesn't use those 24 hours effectively. A person who is successful uses that time effectively, and therefore it's important for us to manage the time at the dental practice effectively. In today's world, no patient wants to sit in the waiting room. We have over here around 40 of us present over here. So any of us over here would want to wait in the waiting room of any doctor over here. I'm sure we take our parents, our wives, our husbands, our relatives to doctors which are not related to our field. If we are dentists, we might be taking them to somebody else. And Dr. Ashish is the first one who types in never. We don't want to wait at any particular place. So I'm glad that we don't want to wait. So if we don't want to wait, don't our patients want to do that same thing? The patients want to use minimum time or to want to sit in the waiting room for minimum time and present in the operatory for the maximum time. And that's why time management is important. You should understand how much of time it is going to take for a particular treatment, and keep extra time as buffer time with you, so that if you are not able to complete that particular treatment in the said time, you have some extra time before the next person walks in to the dental practice. Right. So I have one question coming over here, which takes me again to team building and leadership skills. So I have to handle assistants who take leave more than required or without informing. So a few things that you need to do is you need to set rules at the dental practice. Say you need to let your assistants know that if they want to take leaves, they are going to get only an X number of leaves in the complete year, and that too, they need to take that leave well in advance before they take the leave. If they take leaves without informing, the entire dental practice suffers. And if the practice suffers, it's not only us as owners of the dental practice who suffers, it's them who suffer as well, because they are earning money from the clinic. They are not earning money from the owner. So sit with them, explain to them, you know what, taking leaves without informing or taking leaves abruptly is going to be a problem for not only the practice, not only for me as the owner, it's going to be a problem for you as well. So please make sure that you inform to us about your leaves well in advance. So make it a rule when people join, right during the interview, tell them that we are working as medical practitioners, as dental practitioners. We are working every day. There are not many leaves we get in an annual year. More so, we need to plan our leaves. And if you want to work over here, you need to understand that you will have to give me an advance notice of leave 7 days before you join. Let them know in the interview session itself. If you tell them in the interview itself, they understand that नहीं यार ये तो interview में ही बोल दिया गया था, I have to follow to this. And let them know in the interview, if they don't agree to this, they can work at some other place. And be very polite when speaking to them. See, even I don't get leaves without letting everyone know well in advance. In spite of the fact that this is our dental practice, this is my dental practice, I inform to my assistants and my associates well in advance that I'm going to go for a leave. And that's how the entire practice stabilizes, understands, manages appointments, and knows that there is one particular person who is going to be lesser on this particular day, and therefore keeps appointments accordingly. And so let your assistants know in the interview, and if you have not mentioned them in the interview, sit with them, let them know that they're taking lots of leaves without informing, and that's not good. And when you let them know, don't pull it for long. Give them this information in just 1 minute, and then let them know if they work well, they would love to have them. I mean, we love to work with you. However, this particular thing creates a problem. So you are not the problem. The problem is something else. The person should be separated from the problem, and the person should not be targeted. Target only the problem so that the problem doesn't happen the second time. I hope I helped you with your answer. I'll be moving to more questions over here. And if I've still not answered you, Dr. Prerna, let us know and I'll help you with more questions, more answers. So Dr. Amina has asked me a question. In extractions, we charge according to difficulty. So if we charge before, what to do with it? All right. So say in extraction cases, if you feel that you want to charge 1500 rupee for this particular case, charge them 2000. And if the difficulty is lesser, at the end of the treatment, let them know that we had expected this to take more time and this to be more difficult, and you are free to give them 500 rupee back, because asking for more money looks uglier. However, giving them money and telling them that this was much simpler than we had thought, and therefore rather than charging you 2000, we would charge you 1500. So that extra 500 that we had charged you, we are giving it to you back. And in this way, they will also understand that you are not over here to earn money. Money is a byproduct. They'll understand that you are a great human, and they'll be staying with you for a longer time. So that's what I would do, Dr. Amina. I hope I helped you with your question as well. And I get to thank you from Prerna. So thank you. So I have one more question. What should be the key points in interview when hiring someone as an assistant? So when I hire someone as the assistant, the sole question or the biggest question that I ask to people who want to join in is, what is their 5 year vision, or where do they look at themselves 5 years down the line? And if they tell to us answers like, I want to have my own practice, or I want to work in some company and this and that, I understand that they don't want to stay with me for a longer time. So I don't think of hiring them. Also, I ask them of past experiences. I put them in scenarios wherein, say, someone is shouting on them, a patient is not happy and he's shouting, and how would they behave with this patient who is shouting on them? And then I try to understand and gauge what type of a person is the one whom I'm interviewing. And if I feel the person whom I'm interviewing is a good human, I would keep them rather than keeping a person who is good at skill. Because skill, I can definitely teach them or can train them. However, humanity to be trained is a lot more difficult and takes more time. So while hiring, try to understand what type of a person they are, what are their past experiences, where have they worked before, how was their experience like in that particular company, where do they see themselves after 1 year, after 3 years, after 5 years, and why should we hire them instead of some other person? So I would ask them. I'm taking interview today, and there are 7 people who are going to come for the interview. So why do you feel I should hire you and not the 6 other people? And here to their answers, and accordingly decide. So write it down. What are they answering? Write it down on a piece of paper and then analyze it together. You will get to understand whom should you hire and whom should you not hire. I hope I helped you with your question. I'm moving to the next skill over here. If there are more questions that needs to be answered, I get to thank you. So thank you. Fifth skill is communication. when we need to understand how to speak with someone who takes leaves without informing it to us, if we are communicating about dental treatments to our patients, if we are speaking about post instruction care to the patients, everything is about communication. And if the communication is not, if the communication is not strong, if the communication is not clear, not open, not honest, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. So make sure that you learn communication skills and understand how to communicate with your patients. When I'm speaking and when I'm speaking over a webinar right now, I'm using my communication skills, and the medium I use to transfer these communication skills to you is the power of internet. Without having communication skills, I would not be able to speak in such a way that the presentation looks good and people get results out of it. So communication is a must for everyone. It's a must for someone who wants to learn. It's a must for someone who wants to speak. It's a must for someone who wants to understand. It's a must for someone who wants to do business. It's a must for someone who meets many people day in and day out. Communication is going to be the foundation of your dental practice. Work on having a strong communication, and I'll tell you why is it important. You might have get you might have those patients who, after getting the treatments done, say you get an extraction done, you ask them to remove the cotton after X minutes, take an ice cream, continue with the medication, no spitting, no hot food, no hard food. You give them all the instructions and they go home and they call you after 5 hours telling you it's paining badly, and you ask them, did you remove the cotton? He said, no, we have not removed the cotton because it was bleeding. He said, you are supposed to remove the cotton long back. Did you take a medication? No, we have not taken the medication. And that's why communication skills is important, so that you don't just communicate, they should also understand what are you trying to communicate. And that's why communication skills is a must for the dental practice. So I have a question over here. At what stage of the practice should hiring of an associate doctor be considered? All right, a great question. Dr. Tarandeep has asked me this question. So an associate is an asset to the dental practice. An associate being present at the dental practice gives you more room to manage more patients, gives you more time to spend for yourself, gives you more time so that you can go out on holidays, gives you more time so that you can give to your families. And that's what having an associate should be considered when you feel that I am exhausted or I want time for myself. I'm not able to give time to myself. I'm not able to give time to my family. And if that is happening, even if you are not having many patients, you say, I don't get time for myself. I want to read a book and I don't get time for my family. I'm spending a lot of time at the dental practice. So hire an associate, train them so that some particular day you can hand over patients to them and you can utilize the time that you get on doing what you want. So hiring of an associate is the criteria would be different for different persons. However, an associate being present at the dental practice increases the revenue to multiple folds. At the same time, you get a lot of time for yourself. Say, if I can work 8 hours in a particular day, even if I to stretch myself, even if I try to do that, I can work for 10 hours. I can maximum maybe work for 11 hours. I still say maybe, I'm not sure if I would be able to do that. I get just 3 hours extra. However, if I keep an associate with me, I work for 8 hours. At the same time, the associate works for 8 hours. So in one day, we get 16 hours work done because we are having two-person working simultaneously. And that's why having an associate is a great thing which helps you for success. Use your associates wisely. If you have a new patient who walks in without an appointment and you are already doing a patient, that's when associate will be of great wonders to you. You can ask the associate to start with a history taking. If you don't have a second chair, they can do it in the waiting room itself. If you have a second chair, ask them to take the patient on the chair, take the history, understand the patient's needs, take an x-ray, have a small or a brief or a rough diagnosis done before they hand over the patient to you, and continue it ahead from there. Once you have trust on your associates, you can let them diagnose, you can let them give the treatment plan, you can let them do the treatments, and you have more time for you. So, associate is the dental practice, is a must. Try to analyze for yourself. If you feel that you are exhausted, you need more time for yourself, or you feel that you want to go out at times, associate can help you with any particular thing. How many chairs should we have in our dental practice? I would advise a minimum of 2 chairs. Even if you are a single dentist working, I would advise you a minimum of 2 chairs, because there are many times when suddenly people walk in without appointments, and you should have some particular method, or you should have some particular armamentarium and strategy in order to keep them, uh, in order to let them continue with consultations even before waiting. So cut out the waiting time, and the way to cut out is to have a minimum of 2 dental chairs at the dental practice. So I hope I helped you with your answer, Dr. Tarandeep and Dr. Sunny Talreja. Moving to the next skill is patient relationships. I've seen patients not being loyal to the dentist these days. आज यहाँ पे ट्रीटमेंट करवाया, कल कहीं और ट्रीटमेंट करवाया, परसों आई डोंट नो कहाँ चले गए. They are not loyal. They are changing dentists as easily as we change salons, and therefore building relationships is very important with them. I'm not telling you to become friends with them. When I tell them to make relationships with your patients, they tell them if I become friends with them, then they take me for granted, then they don't pay me money, they ask me for lots of discounts. I'm not asking you to be friends. I'm asking you to build a strong patient doctor relationship with your patients. Do it. Let them know that you care for them. Let them know you are going to go out of your way for getting the dental treatments done, for reducing their problems. And that's why patient relationship or patient doctor relationship is a must to get success. One tip over here to build relationships with your patients is, one thing that you can do is at the last appointment, when the patient has come for the last time at the dental practice, you complete the treatment, you walk with them towards the waiting room, and when they are going, say a tata bye bye to them, thank you, open the door to them, let them go away, say thank you for choosing us, show them the gratitude, show them that you are happy that they chose you over thousands of other doctors or the dentists present in town. So show them this gratitude, and if you have this gratitude shown to your patients, you build a strong relationship with them, because the patient feels connected with you because of this gratitude, and they give you more referrals, they become advocates of yours, and they go outside and they speak about your dental practice to everyone. The doctor was so good, they came to me in the waiting room, they spoke their hearts out to me, they are a great human. And that's when you build relationships with them, and they give you more referrals. That's what we want people to give us more referrals, we want people to stay loyal with us. And so use patient doctor relationship in order to give them great experience, a wow customer service, fantastic treatments, and also make them your raving fans, so that they would want to come to you for any particular treatments in the future. Point number 7 is selling. And when I speak of selling, lots of dentists become uneasy, yaar kaise karenge, this patient bargains a lot, I don't know how to speak about treatments, I can do the best of root canal and crowns, however कंसल्टेशन में हालत खराब हो जाती है, पसीने आ जाते हैं, पता नहीं पेशेंट क्या पूछ लेगा, कैसे बार्गेन करेगा, क्या चिल्लाएगा, क्या बोलेगा, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग, एंड देयरफॉर selling or what we do during the consultations is when we advise them on dental treatments, what we are doing is we are using our selling skills. And this is the time when many of us become restless, many of us get goosebumps, our throat becomes dry, our mouth becomes dry, we are out of words, and we don't understand how to explain to the patients that this treatment is important, and don't know how to have those answers or those questions answered about bargaining. आप बहुत महंगे हो, बाजू वाला डेंटिस्ट तो इतना सस्ता है, why are you charging in so much, why are you charging in so much? And that's why selling skills is a must. A great selling skill over here is when a patient walks in for consultation, ask them question and listen to their answers. This will help you in diagnosis, and in this way you will speak less and the patient will speak more. In today's world, selling is not about speaking loud. In some 15 years, 20 years down the line, selling was all about speaking continuously. In today's world, it's not about you speaking, it's about the customers speak. So your customers will speak only if you ask them the right questions. So a great selling skill is use the art of asking questions in your consultations and let your patients speak their hearts out, listen to what they speak, and they will be your fans right over there. And then when you explain them the treatments, they would want to get the treatments done from you only. They would not want to go anywhere else. So Dr. Isha asked me this particular question. So why do only dentists need to put so many efforts while GPs never do such things even if they are rude? So this is wrong, Dr. Isha. It is not that GPs don't have to do so many things. It is not that GPs can be rude. Anybody being rude in today's world and the practice can go for a toss. They see GPs के पास patients go more regularly, then they come to a dentist. Dentists they come in only when they have toothache. GPs they go when they have fever. GPs they go when they have sneezing. GP they go when they have a sore throat. GP they go when they have a boil. GP they go when they have a stomach ache. They go in for multiple problems towards a GP. They come to a dentist only for oral problems. GP is a group practitioner. GPs are general practitioners. Sorry, an MBBS, Ayurveda, or a homeopath, a general practitioner who practices everything, not a specialization of one particular thing. A general practitioner is what a GP is. So it's not that they don't have to do all those things. We are not seeing into those things. These things don't happen in front of us. These things happen behind our backs. And that's the reason why we never understand. Forget GPs doing this. Elon Musk, Gaur Gopal Das, Jeff Bezos, the richest man, the richest human being in this world, even they are putting in so many efforts, and only then they become successful. Success is not about doing one big thing. It's about doing small things consistently, regularly, and doing it with the best of heart so that you become successful. Successful is not about just becoming successful, it's about lots of efforts, it's about lots of struggles before you start becoming successful. We feel that there are people who are blessed with success, there are people who are blessed with families of history of doctors being present, तो इनको मेहनत नहीं करना पड़ेगा. It's not that way. Everyone has to go through struggle before they see success. Even if you are speaking of a root canal, we might do hundreds of thousands of root canal wrong before we understand how to do it right. And therefore, hundreds of thousands of failures and not giving up and consistently trying and putting in more efforts before we understand what a good root canal is about and to get success. And similarly, be it a dental practice, be it any business, it's always about putting in so many efforts, and the patient is never ever going to understand what all things you are putting in, and therefore you need to continuously put it. I get one more question over here. Why is there so much of struggle in dentistry nowadays? There is not so much of struggle only in dentistry these days. There is so much of struggle in each and every field these days. And the reason is that we feel that the grass is always greener on the other side. I inspire to become like my friends. My friend is an MBA. He works with Sun Pharma, and 5 years back, that was 5 years. It was 6 years back, somewhere around 2015, when my practice was just 3 years old. His mother comes to the dental practice, and her mother starts shouting on me, telling me आपके charges बहुत ज़्यादा है, इतना ज़्यादा charge कर रहे हो, ऐसा वैसा. And then tells me यार आपको तो अच्छा है, आप इतना high charge कर रहे हो, आप तो settle हो गए, you are married as well. तेरा स्कूल फ्रेंड है ना यश, मैं उसकी मम्मी हूँ, वो सन फार्मा में काम करता है. And 6 years back, that means when I was just 3 years old into my dental practice, he was earning 6 lakh per annum, that is 50,000 a month. And उसकी मम्मी को लगता था मैं खुश, जशन उससे ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल है. एंड मुझे ऐसा लगता था काश मैं यश की जगह पे होता यार, 6 लाख पर एनम मुझको मिल जाता, 50,000 a month, full profit, no overheads on that. I would be so happier to be on that side. And therefore, it's not that dentistry is about so much of struggle. There is struggle everywhere. And when we see the success of other people, we have not seen the struggle. We have just seen them becoming successful. So sit with them who are successful and understand them. How was their journey like? And everyone who has gone through success and reached success will tell them they've seen years of struggle before they have succeeded. And therefore, it's not just dentistry who is struggling, every one of us struggles. So sit with people who have struggled and become successful. Sit with them, try to understand, and you will see struggle is a part of every person on this world. I hope I helped you with your question. This was a very good question, and I'm glad that this question about struggle for dentistry has come over here. There are many people who ask me that dentistry has exhausted, there is saturation come in dentistry. I would still say there is no such saturation in dentistry as well. There's a great amount of population that is present. We are catering to, and say I practice in Mira Road. So those of you present in Mumbai know what Mira Road and where Mira Road and what Mira Road is. So it's a population of 30 lakh over here in Mira Road against a dentist of a group of 200 or 300 dentists to a 30 lakh population. That's not what saturation is all about. So MDS or any, I have more questions coming in. MDS or any dental diploma which is better in current dental practice. So Dr. Aishwarya has asked me this question. See, a jack of all trades is always a master of none. So you choose what field of dental practice you like the most. You do an MDS or you do a diploma, both are one and the same, until and unless your love or your greed for knowledge, if you want to have more knowledge for a particular field, in spite of not being an MDS, in spite of not having any diploma in particular field, you can become a master in that particular field. And a desire, a passion, a greed for knowledge कि मुझे समझना है ये particular चीज, and that's when you understand how to go and get mastery in that particular field. And rather MDS or a dental diploma is just a degree finally. It's what you do If I become a BDS and I don't have any love for dentistry, I might be the best of dentists. However, I don't have any love. I would not be successful. I would not become a master of a dentistry. How do we, as general dentists, identify the unique USP of our practice? There is only so much you can do differently in dentistry. There is a lot that you can do different in dentistry.